All right, we're going to start off with something very different in one of my videos. We're going to have story time with Doc. What a lot of people don't realise, 60 years ago, just last month, a guy that escaped from jail, he was an armed robber, killed a prison guard at Emu Plains, I think it was, and he was hiding up here at Commodore Heights. His name was Kevin John Simmons. Now Doc's going to read a little transcript of this day of the biggest New South Wales manhunt in history back in 1959. Hit us, Doc. Do it.
Bye, folks. In 1959, park ranger Colin Green, 32, and a friend, David Hyde, 20, heard someone digging, which turned out to be a fantastic hideout near a skillfully camouflaged car off the main road at West Head. It was Kevin Simmons, aged 24, who was serving a 15-year sentence for armed robbery. The famous prison escapee had been excavating a hole to secrete a stolen caravan.
Incredible.
When Green and Hyde first approached Simmons, he had no clothes on. His clothes were with his pistol nearby. Green told police he was carrying a loaded pistol in his hip pocket. As a ranger, he holds the rank of a special constable and is entitled to carry a pistol. During the first few seconds of their meeting, Simmons pulled on his pants.
So he was digging with his nutsacks out?
Yeah, he was just going for it in the mood. While Simmons was pulling a shirt over his head, still with the pistol in hand, Green took advantage of his temporary blindness to drop his pistol from his hip pocket onto the ground and kick dirt over it. Police said Green had done the only possible thing. His only alternative would have been to engage in a short-range shooting match with Simmons, who is an acknowledged expert shot.
Wow. Go on.
Green was also afraid that if Simmons discovered the pistol, it would give him additional armament.
Yeah.
He tied the unsuspecting man to a tree, apologised, and stole their youth, continuing his flight from the force of armed pursuers. Simmons was a handsome and charismatic young man who attracted a lot of public support as he evaded capture for nearly a month. The hideout where Simmons was found is about 75 yards off West Head Road, Commodore Heights, at the northern tip of Ku-ring-gai Chase.
We're very close to where he was trying to secrete a caravan.
So we're going to go and try to find.
We're going to try to find this joint. Where was he captured? Kept on going a little bit more? Was he captured somewhere?
Yeah, Kevin
Yeah.
escaped from the scene of a greyish-blue Morris utility, AUX number, please.
AUX, that's a really old number.
AUX 694. On October 9, 1959, Simmons had escaped with a fellow inmate from Long Bay. The next day they killed a ward, Cecil Mills, at Emu Plains Prison Farm and took his gun. After 2 weeks of hiding in Sydney, Leslie Allen Newcomb was recaptured. Kevin Simmons was eventually captured 6 weeks later in bush at Kurri Kurri.
After Newcastle.
He was sentenced to life in prison for manslaughter. 6 years later, on the morning of November the 4th, 1966, he was found hanging in his cell at Golden Bay.
Wow, 30 years old. So he only survived.
Yeah.
So take that into account. The guy is up here digging a hole, trying to secrete a caravan. I bought a dwarf lemon tree the other day and dug a 1/2 metre hole to plant the lemon tree, and I was buggered. And this guy is trying to dig a hole to put a caravan in the ground so he can live as a hideout up here. Can you believe it? Kevin John Simmons. So we are up here at Commodore Heights. We need to find, what is it, 60 metres, just
75 yards. So
yeah, it's about 60 odd metres off West Head Road.
yeah.
So we'll probably do the Fortifications Army Track walk first, and then maybe as we're heading back up to Flint and Steel, we'll see if we can find where he was trying to secrete this caravan. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Matthew.
Somewhere on that side.
Yeah, well, that's where we're going to have a look. We'll have to head back on the road because he was spotted by the park rangers on the road. So they were driving in their utility and they could see him swinging some sort of pickaxe or...
Do you think that might have been Matt Hammond?
It could have been. Could have been Matt and Sonny Hammond. Skippy could have been in the back.
Skippy gave him the hideout position.
All right.
What's that, Skip? Down here.
All right, let's rock and roll. Thank you for that, Matthew. Very informative.
Armed police stage one of the biggest manhunts in Australia's history as they seek Long Bay escapees Simmons and Newcomb. The search concentrates in the Mona Vale area following a store robbery. Then a fortnight after the jailbreak, a woman sees Newcomb with a car near the main gates of Centennial Park. A police car rushes to the scene and Newcomb gives up without a struggle. He is charged with murder of an Emu Plains warder, 3 robberies, and escaping from custody. Newcomb, aged 20, is immediately taken to the Criminal Investigation Branch for questioning. He gives police information and a squad of detectives goes to the showground to look for a hideout the 2 escapees had used for more than a week. The hideout is in the center of that stack of 50,000 bags of corn. Police say Simmons and Newcomb removed sacks to make a cavity in the pile and used wooden planks and 10-foot water pipes to hold the sacks in position on top of the cavity. Simmons and Newcomb both left this perfect hideout in search of food after they'd been here for a week. Newcomb was captured 2 hours after leaving the showground. But for Kevin John Simmons, the police hunt is still on.